and the Todd Family YouTube video, wherever you are, whatever you may be doing. Thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. If you jump on here live here on this midday Monday, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Make sure to give the video a like or a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so and share the video on all social media platforms. I'm hoping, since it is a Monday holiday, because today is Labor Day, that there'll be a lot of people that'll be home and be able to watch this video live. But I've already talked about all the Thursday games worth talking about. I've already talked about all the Friday games worth talking about. I've already talked about all the Saturday games worth talking about. We have one more game this weekend tonight. That, of course, is TCU and North Carolina. I'll let that game happen tonight, and then in my video tomorrow, whatever time that might be tomorrow night, we'll talk about yesterday's games and tonight's game. And then, of course, after that, it's already just about time to look ahead to week number 2. I don't think there's a college game this Thursday because we know the NFL just about quadruples the TV ratings for college football. I mean, it's not even close. So with NFL starting this week, every eye in the world would be on the NFL game. So if there was a college game on, nobody would watch it. But I'm almost positive there's no Thursday night game this week. We'll talk about coming up later on in the week. Today I want to talk about some WWE because yesterday we had the Clash in Paris. 6 matches altogether, and it was the final premium live event on Peacock. Now, from my understanding, NXT's premium live events are going to remain on Peacock, but the WWE premium live events are moving over to the new ESPN platform starting in September. Now, there's a good side and a bad side to that. It's basically back in the old days when you had to pay whatever it was, 40 or 45 bucks for a pay-per-view. That's basically what you're doing now to watch the PLEs on the new ESPN platform. The only difference is back in the day when you had to pay 40 or 45 bucks for a pay-per-view, you just paid that price for the pay-per-view. Now with this ESPN platform, if you pay 30 bucks a month, that's what you're paying if you only want to watch wrestling. But, you know, it's not just a pay-per-view channel, it's an ESPN added channel basically. So there'll be football, baseball, basketball, you know, racing, hockey, soccer, you know, whatever it is. Hey there, Rice. Glad to have you here. Everything is going fantastic. Hopefully it is in your world as well. Thanks for stopping by on this Monday. I greatly appreciate it, Rice. So it's 30 bucks a month, but if you like other sports besides wrestling, you can watch other stuff besides wrestling. You're not paying 30 bucks just to watch wrestling unless you only want to watch wrestling, but it will be an all-day, all-night channel. They're not just going to show wrestling, and that's it. Me personally, I don't know if I'll pay it or not. Can't say I will, can't say I won't. I'm not going to spend 30 bucks a month just to watch wrestling. I'm just not going to do it. There's too many ways and avenues to watch free wrestling for me to spend 30 bucks a month to watch wrestling. I'm just not going to do it. I love wrestling, but to spend money to watch something that I can watch for free just makes no sense to me. I don't understand it. That's just my mindset. But now, if I pay the 30 bucks a month, it won't be because the PLEs are on there. It'll be because of other stuff as well, because I do like other stuff besides wrestling. So, you know, when the ESPN channel gets up and running, and if I can find out from anybody what I was on there, if it's worth having, I'll pay it. But if it's basically the sports and the games that nobody watches, and then wrestling, I'm not paying for it. That's just my take. For all of you that do, that's great, but not for me. I can get on YouTube and watch wrestling all day and all night for free. I'm not going to pay to watch it. I'm just not going to do it. That's just me. Maybe when I was younger and it was just me and I had the pay-per-views, maybe so, but times have changed. Not now. Hey there, Jam. Glad to have you here. Hey there, Damien. Glad to have you here. But yesterday, on the final premium live event for WWE on Peacock, we had Roman Reigns defeating Bronson Reed. Hey there, Tristan. Glad to have you here. I am doing fantastic, Tristan. I hope you are as well on this midday Monday, wherever you are. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Jam and Tristan, if y'all are new to the channel, and Damien, whatever reason why you're here, I'm so glad you stopped by. If it's your first time here on the channel, please give the video a like, a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, please do so. Today I'm going to talk wrestling as my main topic, but I talk college football, I talk NFL, I talk some college baseball, Major League Baseball, NASCAR, some college basketball, some NBA, and thank you for subscribing, Tristan. I greatly appreciate that, and I'm glad you like my background, whether that means you're a Clemson fan or if you're a football fan. Either way, it does not matter. Thanks for stopping by. If you're a Clemson fan, I'm glad you are here. And hey there, Pro Coaching. Glad you're here. I always like seeing new commenters and new faces and new names in the comment section. Tristan, I'm so glad you're here because I try to talk all main sports, but I focus mainly on college football and wrestling, but I do talk other things besides those. But don't see my hat and my background and think it's a Clemson channel, because it's not. I'm a Clemson fan. If you cut me, I bleed orange, no doubt about that. But I'm not a Clemson homer. If I feel like Clemson's going to lose, I'll tell you, hey, they're going to lose. I don't come on here and use vulgar language. I don't come on here and call anybody names. I don't do that. To me, that's childlike. But I am very honest in my opinions, and I don't say stuff like Stephen A. Smith does, or like Skip Bayless does, like Shannon Sharp does, just to get you to watch. If I tell you something, it may be wrong, but it's always going to be genuinely how I feel. And Tristan, if you're a wrestling fan, you're in the right place, because I do talk wrestling at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. All depends on what else is going on in the sports world, but at least once a week, because I've been a professional wrestling referee for 18 years. So wrestling's in my blood. So, of course, obviously it's a passion of mine, but it's also in my blood. So it's just something I started watching 35 years ago, and I just can't all of a sudden just say, hey, you know what, I hate wrestling. Can't do that. I may not always watch WWE and AEW, because as an independent referee for wrestling, I tend to gravitate more toward the independent stuff, because to me, independent stuff is more what wrestling should be and the way wrestling used to be, and it's just more entertaining. And you can get on YouTube and watch just about any indie show for free. So I'm going to watch that over paying to watch wrestling on TV. But I do at least keep up with WWE and AEW. And Tristan, since you're new here, I always tell everybody, just so they know, that I'm the same guy in person I am on here. I'm the same guy on Facebook I am on here. I don't change. I don't have a YouTube persona and an actual persona. This is me all day, all night. And Tristan, if by some chance you're on Facebook, feel free to message me on Facebook, and I promise you, I will respond. I may not respond right away, but I'm never going to read your message and never reply, and I'm never going to see that you message me and ignore you. I don't do that. So if you're on Facebook or ever decide to get on Facebook, I'm easy to find. Feel free to message me on Facebook. We can chit-chat about football, about wrestling, about life in general, anything you prefer to talk about. And Tristan, I don't really have a lot of time to play actual games. Now, back in my younger days when I was single, I always loved football and baseball and basketball as far as, you know, playing them. And Tristan, one day you can get on Facebook. It's easy. You can start an account in 25 seconds. Or you can also message me through your mom's Facebook account, but let me know that it's you and not your mom. And no, pro coaching, I am not a mean person. But Tristan, you can start a Facebook page in about 2 minutes. It's not hard to start one. But now that I'm older, you know, I've got a full-time job. I'm also a professional wrestling referee. I also work part-time in radio, doing high school football and high school basketball. I'm also the men's leader at church. I also have 3 growing kids, including 7-year-old twin boys, and I have a beautiful, lovely wife. I really don't have a lot of time anymore to play games, but I always liked to play baseball, football, and basketball because baseball and football and basketball, those are sports that you can play with 4 or 5 people. I mean, obviously, the more you have, the better. But baseball, you can have somebody pitch to themselves, one person play the infield, and one person or 2 play the outfield, and you can play. Basketball, you can play one-on-one. You know, things like that. Football, you can play tackle the man with a football. But, you know, some sports, if you ain't got 8 or 9 people, you know, you just can't play them. But soccer's fun, Tristan, but you have to have a butt ton of people to play soccer, at least if you want to make it feel like you're playing an actual soccer game. You can't have 2 people. It's just not going to work. But if you got a lot of people, soccer is fun to play, but soccer is awful to watch on TV. Oh, I try so hard to watch it, especially during the World Cup, and I usually will make myself watch it just to follow the U.S. and watch them lose in the World Cup because they're just not that good. But it's awful because you see a ball get kicked that way one time, that way one time, that way one time, that way one time. And it's just so awful. But back to Clash in Paris. We've seen the Wyatt Six retain the WWE World Tag Team Championships by defeating the Street Profits. Becky Lynch beat Nikki Bella to retain the Women's Intercontinental Championship. A lot of people are upset about Nikki Bella returning, and I have never been a big fan of the Bella twins, either one of them. I think they're average wrestlers. I think they're average on the mic. I don't think they're very attractive. I'm not near as big on them as some people are. I just don't like them. Never have. Nothing about them has ever intrigued me at all. But, you know, people are up in arms about, you know, Nikki Bella coming back, and what about, you know, all the other females that actually could wrestle? Why don't they come back? Well, that's not Nikki Bella's fault. You know, she wants to come back. It ain't her fault if Caitlyn never wants to come back. That's not Nikki Bella's fault. It ain't her fault if Stacy Keibler never comes back. You know, you can't hate Nikki for wanting to come back when there's others that could come back that obviously just don't want to. And that's not Nikki's fault. And Tristan, I hate to hear that you broke your bone. I broke one bone when I was 12, I think, and that was when I was in 7th grade. We ate lunch in the cafeteria, got up, went outside, and played 2-hand touch football for about 30 minutes between the end of lunch and going back to class. And I caught a pass, and I was running, and the guy that was on the football team when I was in 7th grade was about 3 times my size, and I was running, and he caught me, and when he hit me in the back, I went straight down on my collarbone. I broke my collarbone. I had to wear a brace for, I think, 6 weeks. It was terrible. And Tristan, never give up on YouTube. I don't know what I would do without YouTube. Most of the wrestling I see, most of the football I see, most of the basketball I see, just about everything I see is really on YouTube. So I encourage you to stick with watching YouTube. And pro coaching, you're in 6th grade. Glad to have you here, and wherever you're in school at, I know y'all are out of school today because it's a holiday, so I'm glad you are here. Rusev beat Sheamus in a good old fashioned Donnybrook match. And then we had John Cena beating Logan Paul. In the main event, Seth Rollins defeats CM Punk, LA Knight, and Jey Uso to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. And you're welcome, Tristan. I appreciate that compliment. And the match itself was good for a fatal four way. I mean, fatal four way triple threats are hard because there's so many guys or girls, constantly moving that there's just so much that you just can't do. But for a fatal four way, it wasn't bad. But for me, it wasn't great. I've never liked Seth Rollins. I've never liked CM Punk. I've never liked LA Knight. I've never liked Jey Uso. So none of the four guys in the match I really wanted to see. But I knew Seth Rollins was not going to lose the belt this fast. But the only bad part about it is Seth Rollins' wife shows up, and I'm guessing she's now going to be in this little faction. And Tristan, we have 8 more appearances left by John Cena. But I can't hear your comment, Pro Coaching, but I can see your comments in the comment section, but I can't hear them, but I can read them, so I can clearly see them. But I've said on here numerous times, I hate this faction, can't stand this faction. To me, it was dead on arrival. The second I saw it, I said, okay, this is not going to work. And I continue thinking that. You've got Bronson and Braun, who could be 2 stars that they push for the future, but instead they're basically henchmen for Seth Rollins. So this faction is not helping Bronson and Braun or whatsoever. Paul Heyman's pretty much became useless because he doesn't talk like he used to. And now that you have all these other guys outside the ring, Paul Heyman just stands there. He serves no purpose at all. And now you add Becky to it, and I'm guessing this is just a way to bring back AJ Lee, since Seth is now feuding with CM Punk. Seth has his wife, CM Punk can have his wife, but I don't like Seth Rollins. I don't like Becky Lynch at all. When I see Becky on my TV, I either turn the channel or close my eyes. There's nothing appealing about Becky Lynch at all. Never has been, never will be. I don't like CM Punk either. So if AJ comes back, I'm not going to like this feud either. Because if I didn't like AJ the first go around, I ain't going to like her the second time around. But if AJ's not going to come back, I really don't know what would be the purpose of this feud besides her coming back. Otherwise, why would you align Becky with Seth? There's no reason for it. So my guess is AJ's going to return. I don't know that. I have no insight on that. It's strictly my opinion. But if it does happen, they have a tag team match with Seth and Becky versus CM Punk and AJ Lee. You can count me out on watching it. I have no desire to watch that match. I'll go outside, stand in quicksand and watch grass grow and watch paint dry. I'm not watching that match. But if AJ Lee comes back, then it's inevitable that eventually you're going to see a mixed tag team match with Seth and Becky versus Punk and AJ. But I will not watch it at all. Any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. Mr. Tickle wanted to marry the girl of his dreams. However, Tess was reluctant to take on his last name. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.